Yo, what's up, y'all? This is another episode of the Triple Crown podcast. Of course, your boy Vinny and my man Rush, man. How you holding up, man?
Man, given everything that's going on right now, I'm doing all right, man. I done had a lot of things happen, within the last week, professionally and individually, and what's going on in the world. So I'm doing pretty good, though, man. I'm hanging in there. How about you, G?
Yeah, man. Same thing, same here, man. Just going through this pregnancy life, man. Trying to get my life going with this, get prepared for it. But then, hearing about what's happening around the world, or just not even honestly around the world, and in the United States. First in California, then Buffalo, and now here we are in Texas. On May 24th, 2022, this guy decided to pack up, he decided to kill his grandmother, shot her right in the head to get his day started. And then he got in his car, packed up his stuff, and decided to go shoot up his elementary school, Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, 85 miles southwest of um, San Antonio. But he ends up killing 21 people, two adults and 19 children of the age range of 8 to 10. Um, and having little ones, man, about to have another one, and even the one I have now. I'm trying to put words to it, man, trying to get an understanding of it, man, because the unsafe, the uncertainty in America, bro, it's definitely rising, man. I,
Yeah, man.
I don't. It's hard to say, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be a time where, there was a code, you know, if people did things to each other, they were adults. Now it seems like school shootings is the new thing. That's like I don't know. It's like I said, it's like the new thing. Everybody suddenly just gets it off by shooting up schools, man, and kids, bro, kids, 8, 9, and 10 years old, bro. It's extremely sad to give a little background. Um, the dude was 18, which is sad in and of itself. He's still a kid, 18 years old, had just turned 18 on the 16th of May. It was reported that he went and purchased the weapons on the 18th. I'm a gun owner myself, so knowing how that process goes, he probably the day he turned 18, he probably went into whatever gun shop he went to, purchased the rifles. But after you purchase it, you have to wait 2 to 3 days for them to do the background check on you to get the rifle. And then on the 18th, he probably picked it up. And we had talked before. You said he had
375.
yeah 375 rounds of 5.56. To give an explanation on 5.56 rounds, they're probably about that big. Um, they vary on metal point, whether if it's hollow, they're very pointed. Basically, the round is used in military combat. That and the 7.62 and the 300 blackout, but 300 blackout is really used for suppression weapons. It makes it pretty much silent. So you had this guy purchasing 5.56 ammunition. 5.56 is gonna pack a punch. You get hit in the anywhere in the center cavity with 5.56, and it's fatal. So yeah, he purchased 375 5.56 rounds, and purchased had a handgun. I don't believe he purchased a handgun, but I think he got a hold of a handgun. And yeah, man, he went and did his thing. Also, he had a vest on him, a vest with a tactical vest with metal armor plates. For those of you who don't know what that kind of looks like or is, it's just envision like a big like a bigger jacket that goes over you. If you play Warzone, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And then you can put plates. The plates go in your chest, center cavity, your back, and then for the really good tactical armors, you have smaller plates that go along the rib cage, to protect that as well. And that's something that we use in the military. And yeah, he was essentially prepared for battle. and went in and started shooting up kids. Um, One of the things that I hate within the media is hearing when something like this happens. They really don't specify what rifle it is. They'll just say a AR-15 style. But he used the M4, a Daniel Defense M4, which Daniel Defense is top of the line. I could tell you this guy. I don't know what 18-year-old has this type of money, but I could tell you this guy spent at least 2,500 on that rifle, and to put some of the modifications that he had on there with sights and uh, ammunition. The magazines alone cost money. All of that to store all of the ammo. His whole giddy up that he had was probably close to about 3,500 to 5,000, well, 5,000 pound dollars within that range. That's how
Wow.
expensive all that stuff is. I don't know what 18-year-old has that, but Daniel Defense is a very expensive brand, and to purchase a DDM4 is you're not finding one lower than 1,800. So
That's crazy.
and he had a handgun on him. So this guy, he was fully prepared for whatever had happened, and it's sad because he went into a school with this, not going to protect his family.
Not going to his high school. Like you go to an elementary school, bro. I know.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think the way that he was prepared, he was going to be a one man army in a war. You would think he would be flying over to Ukraine, trying to give Russia all that they can handle with that type of artillery. And if he had hollow point rounds, man, with that 5.56, it's really a wrap. Once that round enters your body, it essentially collapses your tissue on itself. The bullet opens a hole in your body, and then immediately as it's passing through, it collapses and causes more impact. So
Damn,
anything that hits is causing nasty damage, man. And
damn.
these were kids, 8, 9, 10 years old that this happened to, bro. Can you just imagine the scream, the fear? It's sad, man. It really is sad. It's sad.
Yeah, man. That's the part I just can't grasp, man. Because you have, I have children, bro, and not a fear, but even working in a public space that I work at, I like you. You just never know what can happen, bro. Um, Even mall shootings, school shootings, a mass shooting is a mass shooting, bro. No matter where it happens at, but it's just also always in the back of your mind, low key. You know, when you when these events happen, you think about your own life and where your family is. Can I make their situation better? Should I not take them to school anymore? You want to create a new norm, but when sometimes when these events happen, we become numb to the whole situation. Oh, another one. How many died this time? 21. Oh man. Or but it's just like what can we do? What how do we move as individuals, man? But to bring the topic of discussion about real quick, let me say this. They say it's been reported he has not had any mental health issues ever before. So, with that being said, do you think this is more about a kid's upbringing, or do you believe it's more about gun violence or easy access to guns?
I think it's both, man. I think when you look at it, at 18 years old to be able to purchase what he purchased, um, that's a problem. And then the mental health issue, because even though that you purchased that at 18, it's insane to go and take out your frustrations on children and the innocent. If I have a rough day, I just can't go down the street. walking around slapping and punching people for no reason. That's like insane to take out what happened to me and in my life and project that upon other people who have no idea who I am. It's just completely unfair. So I think that is both. I really do. Um,
See, I believe, yeah, it's the easy access to guns. Texas have one of the easiest gun access in the nation. I think it's number two in the nation. But I think it's mental health, bro. And the fact that this man didn't have in this situation, because every mass shooting is a little different. It's the whole same in the gist, but it's a little different between depending on what happened. But in both cases of this one and also the Buffalo situation, they're both for 18. What mindset? You're born in 2004, not in the 90s, whatever. You're born in the basically in the digital era of what we are living in now. What mindset makes you create to say, "Nigga, I'm about to buy a gun and kill up these shoot up anybody I want to shoot up." That's my thing because it's like you're only 18, man. I'm 20 something. I never thought about doing this as a kid, bro. Never in my life. And I know a lot of other people haven't thought about that either. So like what at the age of 18, from the ages of 16 to 18, because that's where I really feel like your mind really started developing to what you see, what you hear, just how you moving throughout life. What gets the person to that point to say, fuck the world, I'm shooting it up today? Like I can't explain that. I can't explain it. I can't even grasp it. I can't get it, bro. Like it's hard in me to even try to understand that because no sane person would do something like this. No sane
man,
person.
I honestly, yeah, it's you're right. No sane person. I honestly think this deserves a bigger scope to me. Being the fact that I've lived in other countries or even just visited other countries, I always tell people, listen, you need to go out and see something aside from America, right? Everybody is fixated on America and what it has to offer people, and they consider it like the center point of Earth. There's
Hmm.
so much more out in the world outside of America.
The land of the free, man.
America America is one of the most violent countries you could ever go to. And it's ironic hearing people. I used to talk to my granny all the time, and she would say to me things like, "Why would you want to go there? You know, they're shooting, yada, yada, yada." I'm like, Granny, they do the same thing in America. I'm not missing out on much. You know what I'm saying? If I could walk around Detroit, Michigan and feel somewhat safe, I should feel safe in other countries as well. Because per populace, they murder three, four times more of their people here in America than they do in any other country. Being in Korea was the biggest eye opener for me. I literally walked around Korea feeling as safe as possible at all times. I never even had to think about looking behind me for things, mass shooters, things of that nature, because it's just a non-violent culture. I mean, the things that they are exposed to aren't what we're exposed to at an early age. So is to me is a bigger picture on how America is just violent. And yes, it's mental health and that goes on everywhere, right? But for us specifically being in our black neighborhoods, right? Growing up, it may not be as mental health driven, but we're violent. We're violent
Yeah.
and we're territorial. It may not be, oh, I'm gonna go shoot up some schools, but hey, I'm gonna go shoot up the block, because I have to establish myself for what's right for what's around here. So that's a problem, bro. It's a problem. And it's not just, yeah, we can look at these school shootings and we say, oh man, this is terrible what happened to kids. And it is terrible what happened to kids. But grown people shouldn't be subjected to this either. Grown people shouldn't be mass murdered either. And that goes for if we're doing school shootings, or if that goes to the same way as when we're talking about brothers or people just spinning up the block, shooting up houses, man. Gun violence is terrible, period. But we're a violent culture. Our music condones it, our movies condone it, our whole entertainment energy condones violence. So rock, hip hop, all of it. It all spews out violence. So it's definitely people are sick to go out and to shoot up a school full of kids for sure. The guy is sick. But just a little background on the Buffalo shooting. He was also 18 years old. He went to Buffalo. It was he traveled a long way. He actually tried to stream it on Twitch as well, which is extra sick. You're gonna stream yourself shooting innocent people. This man went to Buffalo, New York, and an area at a superstore in Buffalo, New York. And this is what bothers me specifically about this story. Buffalo, New York houses a lot of African Americans. He chose a superstore and he had a racist undertone. He had the N word on the barrel of his rifle. He used the AR-15. So this is the specific case when we talk about media where they actually address what the weapon is. It was an AR-15, but they like to say AR-15 style. Let's differentiate the two because there are different styles of rifles used for different things. There are SBRs used for close combat. There are regular AR-15s. There are AR-10s. There are DMRs used from longer distances, more like a hunting rifle. So to be able to understand what these rifles are and how they're used lets you know what the state of mind that the individual is that are accomplishing these mass shootings. So he went in with an AR-15, medium, short to medium range combat, decent-ish long range, um, with the N word on his barrel and just started shooting up the joint, man. 10 killed, 3 injured. Um, and he went into a superstore. When I was talking about the point that bothered me. He went into a superstore when in Buffalo, you can pick a block and start shooting on, right? He picked a superstore when he knew he could have gone somewhere else if he wanted that energy and had some fire returned to him. But he decided to choose to shoot innocent people instead of choosing to shoot people that might have something back for him. Because I guarantee
Ooh,
you, he goes somewhere else around in Buffalo, a more uh, an area
rough.
where he know he shouldn't have been in,
Yeah.
and they would have returned fire. He probably would have got dropped. He might have clipped some people as well. AR-15 is a pretty accurate and precise weapon, but I guarantee you somebody would have returned fire, and he would that it wouldn't have gone to him killing 10 and injuring 3. The numbers would have been less, and he probably would have ended up dead. Especially yelling racial slurs while he was doing the shooting. So there is a cowardness about this, an extreme cowardness about this. Because look, everybody like to be real until you see what real is like. You know, if he goes and he walked down the street and he got his rifle on his chest and he just started yelling out racial slurs to people, somebody gonna shoot him. Walking in Buffalo, but he walked in the superstore. The people that he killed were in their, on average, were in their 40s and 50s, bro.
Yep.
He ain't try that with someone his age or in 30 and under because that energy would have been reciprocated. So,
Yeah, it would have been.
so go ahead.
No, no, I was about to say, yeah, no, no, you got a point because this one, what's different about this one was definitely driven, was a racial factor into everything. Now his access to guns, that's still the main discussion, but it was racially motivated to go shoot up this superstore. And what was the difference about him and the Texas shooter? We were still finding out information about the Texas shooter, so I definitely can't comment or even to say my opinion on that. But it's a problem in America, man. Like, I'm sorry, I can't even explain it, bro. I'm just saying, like, I can't even fathom what the fuck is happening, bro. I can't because the shit in Buffalo, bro. Let's speak on this for a second. The shit in Buffalo, man. The fact that you had to drive over 50 miles to go do this, bro, to go to a primarily dominated black community to go do this, bro, and not even do this in your own home city, speaks to a lot about that. But my question, bro, why is a lot of white people? I'm sorry to even say that, but like, why a lot of white people like to travel across state lines, city lines, um, to go do what they want to do, bro? Like, why not do it in the city you're in, bro? I mean, I know the Texas shooter, he kind of did, but I'm just saying, like, the ones that even the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, that my man drove across state lines to go do what he wanted to do, and that riot. Even with the one in Buffalo, you decided to drive over 50 miles to go do your killing. So it's just like, bro, I can't grasp this, bro. I'm sorry, man. It's just it's hard to understand, man. To try to get into somebody's mindset to do it.
Yeah, man. I couldn't tell you why. I honestly couldn't. Um, like we just always say, man, it's just one of those things where it's just extremely unfortunate, right? I mean, like, you can never really. One thing that I try to do is I try to, I watch people, I observe it, people, I try to understand why they make the decisions that they make, right? And it's just certain things that we're not gonna be able to understand because we don't think even close to that level of irrational. Um, yeah, like you said, traveling miles, essentially doing missions in their mind to, go out, set out to do something, and then actually doing it is, I mean, it takes fortitude. It takes like a level of craziness that, because most people when they do things or when they think about doing things, their rationale kicks in and it's like, okay, well, that's wrong. Or even in the attempt of driving there, you like, should I do it, should I not do it? There's doubt that rises. The fact that these people are able to completely negate doubt, or get rid of that little, the proverbial heaven on one side, or angel on one shoulder, devil on the other. The fact that they're just able to just flip off the angel and just go full on devil mode is just, it's crazy to me, man. Yeah. And the Buffalo shooter, he also had the tactical vest with body armor as well. So it's tough because this is a bigger conversation to where what should people be able to get access to, right? So, do you feel like people should be able to purchase rifles?
No, not rifles, bro. Like, I understand, like, hunting. I get that, man. But those specifically type of ARs, I mean, of rifles, I don't believe so, man. Like, what's the point of you about if you go hunting with that type of rifle, bro? I know you can either flick it off to make it a single shot or make it full automatic, but you're the point of a AR. I feel like you really want to spray that point, man. You ain't gonna want to single shot that thing. You go get a rifle that's signature to that single shot fire. So
So, to add clarification, the rifles, the M4, right? That is a single shot. It's a single action, a single shot. It's
okay,
illegal to sell fully automatic weapons. So the him being able to purchase what he purchased at a gun store, it was single shot. However, shooting that single shot, its fire rate is still fast. You can still
okay,
have a fast fire rate with a single shot.
okay, okay. So to that point, even then, I I don't. Yeah, I honestly, depending on how fast the rate can fire, I feel like that should be determined, bro. 'Cause like I said, to even go hunting, you're not really hunting like that, bro. You ain't spraying off shots like that, bro. You're precise to what you want to shoot at, what you want to get at. Even shooting at some ducks, like you still gonna want to come on, click, 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 not 3 round burst. You ain't gonna want to do that, man. So I do feel like ARs should be no goes, bro. In my opinion. Because what's the point of protection? You could get shotguns, pistols. Cool, cool, cool. But what's the point of a whole AR, bro?
So as an AR owner,
That's a fact.
um, I I I kind of agree. And
So why do you own an
so
AR for, bro? Why do you own an AR?
for self defense,
Self defense. You can't do
and
it with a pistol.
it, I certainly can. So the reason why I have an AR is because if in my mind I'm low key like a little doomsday prepper, and I purchased this shortly after COVID. So my mom pretty much like panicked me. She was like, "Jay, what if such and such happened? COVID, the stock market's crashing, people ain't got toilet paper, people gonna be ravaging the shelves." I was like, "All right, so next is what am I going to do to protect my family if something terrible happens within America?" So at that point, I need to be defensive and have what I need to have to keep people from storming into my home and taking things from me, you know? So that's why I have a rifle. I have a rifle and a couple handguns.
How many
Um,
people are you expecting to run through your house that a pistol can't take down? If you got two pistols at that, if a person does have two pistols, what's the difference of having a dual wheel, boom, boom, pow, rather than a whole AR? Why you need a whole AR to protect your whole household when you get to do it with two pistols?
is more to me is more precise and it has a larger ammunition clip. So that's why I would use it. So
But how many
the
people are you
pistol
expecting to
is
break?
quicker to draw. I'm doomsday prepping. Remember,
That's facts. Yeah, okay. That's facts. That's facts.
I'm doomsday prepping. So if I have a weapon that has 9 rounds in it, if I shoot off one for every 9 person, I might miss. I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? I got to reload after that as well. So I say all that to say, look, I have a MK18, Daniel Defense MK18. It's a short barrel rifle. It's used for close quarter combat. The reason that I have it is because if someone comes in my home, I have a pistol as my sidearm. I have my MK18 as my primary, and it's a short barrel rifle. It's quick and it's accurate. It's precise. One shot to put somebody down. That's why I have it. The caliber also 5.56, the same that these other people have used 5.56. It will put you down versus 9 mil or 4.5 will just injure a person most likely. The most people who get shot by handguns they die from bleeding as opposed from the actual force of impact and what it does. 5.56 rounds, 7.62 rounds. Once it hits you, it's crippling immediately. That's why. So if someone came into my home looking to cause harm to me and my family, I'm putting them down. I'm not injuring them to allow them to continue to shoot. However, if the government came out and said everybody give their rifles up, I will gladly give mine over because I think there's a bigger picture to all of this, right? England has the one of the countries with the most knife kills or most kills by like blunt force objects, right? But their murders compared to ours are completely less. If we gave up all of those, I wouldn't say it would be less violent here in America. However, people will be forced to use different objects to kill people. But using weapons of this nature that are actually designed to kill people, they won't have that to be able to this mass collateral damage that happens. So if the government came out and said, "Hey, look, only pistols, shotguns, whatever," everybody else have to turn in their weapons. If it's not, you face a fine or it's illegal. I'll give mine over. I'll give mine over. I think
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it is easy. Me knowing what I know about weapons and the loopholes that you can get through from tax stamps to getting suppressors added to your weapons. I do think there is too much too much of an influx of equipment used to enhance weapons and personnel for things that won't be needed necessarily in America unless something really, really, really bad happens. So, like body armor, being able to have body armor, being able to have red EOTechs, the same thing that many soldiers use: EOTechs, lasers, red dots, grips, foregrips, suppressors, um, stocks, buffer tubes, all of these things that you can do that enhance this weapon to get it to fire faster, grip, all of that stuff that we talk about, right? Those are the things that enhance it to make it more deadly, and that I don't necessarily see the need for, but I understand why people use it, because it is it you want, if you have a weapon, right, you want it to be the best version of itself, just like you would want whatever you want your shoes to look your best. You want your cute computer to be its best, right? So you do what you do to make it its absolute best. However, there's some things that just don't need to be done. The right to bear arms, where if we ever needed to overthrow the government because it was too corrupt, we would go and do that as a joint force within civilian life, and do that. Or if people came over to America and tried to overthrow our government, everybody has artillery to be able to fight off if something came over here. If other nations came over here and tried to take over America, that was the right to bear arms. And I know I've had plenty conversations with people who are like, no, the right to bear arms, the government's never going to take away my guns. It's because they go back to that right to bear arms in the original Constitution, where it was stated that we have the right to bear arms. My rebuttal to that has always been times change. So if times change, if they took away that right to bear arms,
During that
whatever.
time frame when they made that freaking what's the thing called, part of the Constitution. There it is, the amendment. Um, it wasn't no police force back then. It wasn't like nothing. It wasn't nothing too like, oh hey, we have your back. No, it was you, yourself, and I. And your neighbors, to protect yourself and each other. So I mean, yes, I definitely agree with that. Times have changed drastically, but yeah, man, my biggest thing, real quick though, about all this, and help me try to figure this out. What do I do as a parent, man? What do I do as a parent? Even knowing this, um, my daughter goes to daycare. Even in daycare, bro, anything can happen, as you can see in this world. How do I move in life, bro? Like, a little part of me is like, yeah, I want my people to be at home, even myself, be at the crib, work from home, do whatever we need to do to keep moving in life. But is it necessary to even have your kids going to school, or is it necessary to have them going to the mall, with no supervision, or these public places? Because even though if they don't go, shit could still happen. But it's always about putting their lives at risk, no matter what you do. So, but I know you could say the same thing about driving cars, or just walking on, just walking to school one day and getting struck by lightning. Crazy stuff can happen, but it's just like knowing what we know about mass shootings, bro. Anybody, and it's over 8 or 4 million people in this freaking nation. You don't know who has a mental health issue or who doesn't, or what might tick a person off. So how do I help me understand, how can I move throughout this time, man? Like, do I put my kids in public school or even in private school, or do I just have them at home, do homeschooling, man? Because you see it also, real quick too. Online shopping has gone up crazy because of little things like this. Also because of the pandemic, but also little things like this can change a person mindset. Cool, I don't ever have to go into the store again. I could just buy online, shop online, never show my face again. So yeah, man, go ahead, man. But
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you posed a question that a lot of parents are faced with at this time. I'm not a parent myself, but I mean, it's legitimate, and it's not even more so for people who have kids. I mean, it's for everybody. I mean, how do you feel safe at all times going to the grocery store, getting groceries, and something happening? I mean, going to a car wash years ago, at the Dark Knight, when that came out, the mass shooting that happened in the theater. I mean, you go to concerts, the concert shooting in Las Vegas. I mean, it just goes on. You can just simply be enjoying life, and at one moment it's great, and the next moment you're bullets
Tragedy.
flying over your head. You know, so um, that's a legitimate question, man. A lot of people are going to be faced with it. Uh, I'm of the mentality. I know me personally. I always said, no matter what day God chooses to call me away from here, I'm gonna live my life to the fullest. So I don't plan to live my life in fear. So I would at least go out and do things and try to live because we only get one life. And if I'm being scared and always at home all the time, I'm not living my life to the fullest. And then I don't want to be 80 years old and look back on my life and say, dang, man, I really didn't do the things that I really wanted to do in life because I let fear deter me. So that's my thing, man. But yeah, man, for kids, bro, like how for kids, I wouldn't even know. That's such a tough decision.
Growing up, bro, you know how many overly protected parents that we knew, like, dang, bro, your mom like that, bro? That's crazy, bro. Like, my mom ain't nowhere near like that. My mom let me go out, blase, blase. Not really.
And my mom was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Not think about it. Parents have their own ideal of what this world can offer, um, and that can go both ways. But knowing that we what we are seeing now in this last 2 decades, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. That's just damn heartbreaking, man.
It
This
is,
is
man. I mean, that's the
it's just
perfect word. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And you know, we we sit here and talk, and you were right. You were saying how people become numb to it. You know, everybody. I feel like American culture now is to become numb to what's happening. We're numb to the LGBT community. We're numb to race relations. We've always been numb to race relations, and it's sickening how we're continued to be numb to race relations. We see someone get killed by the police as always. Oh well, yeah, this is sad. Let's put up. Let's all black, and then 2 months later, everybody's talking about somebody twerking at some hip hop awards. It's a constant cycle. It's a constant cycle of a mass shooting. Oh, we must have reform. 2 months later, there's no reform. There's always a consistent cycle.
and that's why this the bill that was passed by the House 2 years ago is still sitting on the desk, you could say. And they just now they actually it's weird, bro. When they had start announcing that bill in the Senate, or when they might start, voting for it, that's the day the shooting happened, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
I will say
So
this though, our government got to do better though, bro. I ain't gonna hold
for
you.
sure,
You wait two
for
years
sure.
to try to pass something after 2 years of shootings, bro. Come on now.
And it's not just with shootings. It's all around, all encompassing. It's everything, everything. So
But they gotta do better, bro. And honestly, bro, I do feel like a lot of the people in government, they're 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 outdated, bro. I'm not gonna say no names because it's on both sides of the party line, all three sides of the party lines. A lot of them
yeah,
are outdated, man. They just want their power and they want their notoriety to keep it pushing, but they're not doing nothing for the American people, man. And during this
not
time
at
frame,
all.
during this decade, these next couple decades, we gotta push forward, man.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, man, this is sad. We do a little moment of silence, and yeah, man, this week is the Triple Crown podcast. It's sad that we got to do our 20th episode like this, but for all of the teachers, yeah, yeah. For all of the teachers, man, I try to at least when we doing the outro, if you stick around on our videos, I always try to give a shout out to the teachers at the end of our episode because they're so underappreciated, underpaid, and undervalued. So and we lost two of them. And these are our educators, man. These are the ones that really spend time with our kids to enhance them and to teach them and to help them grow into some of the best humans ever. So this is the Triple Crown Podcast, New Norm, episode 20. We love you guys for watching us. Um, Rest in peace to all of the people that we've lost this year, and especially the ones who we've lost to mass shoot. You will not be forgotten. And we are